know that feeling
Which one?
when you're older and you look back at your younger self
Okay.
and you think, oh no, why did I do that?
Oh, yes.
Why did I worry so much about what people thought? Why did I say yes to things I hated? Why did I waste so much time?
Why did I think I knew everything?
Yes, you thought you knew everything.
I was 22. I knew nothing. But I was so confident about knowing nothing.
And now you know more. And you're less confident.
Isn't that strange? The more I learn, the less sure I feel.
That's actually called wisdom.
Oh, maybe I have some wisdom then.
Maybe just a little.
I wish someone had told me these things when I was 20.
Me too. So today, we're telling you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast where we help you speak English naturally and confidently through real, honest conversations.
I'm John.
And I'm Maria. So happy you're here with us today.
This episode is for B1 to B2 learners, intermediate to upper intermediate level English.
How are you feeling today, John?
Honestly, a little nostalgic. Nostalgic means you feel a warm sadness when you think about the past.
Oh, me too. This topic always makes me feel nostalgic.
And a little grateful. Because I'm not 20 anymore.
Ha! Same. Before we start, thank you. Really. Thank you for choosing to learn English with us today. You could be anywhere right now. But you're here. Learning. Growing.
And that is already something your 20-year-old self would be proud of.
Let's go. Okay, let me ask you something. If you could go back to your 20s, and give yourself one piece of advice,
Just one?
just one, what would it be?
Oh, that's hard. One piece of advice.
Take your time.
Okay. I think I would say, stop trying to impress people who don't care about you.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I spent so much energy in my 20s trying to look successful, trying to seem cool, trying to make people like me.
People who didn't even notice.
People who were too busy worrying about themselves to even notice me.
Yes, we all did this.
What would your advice be?
Mine would be, your feelings are valid. Stop apologizing for them.
Oh, wow.
Because in my 20s, I said sorry for everything. Sorry for being sad. Sorry for being tired. Sorry for having an opinion.
You apologized for having feelings?
All the time. I thought my feelings were too much, too dramatic, too inconvenient.
And now?
Now I know. Feelings are information. They're telling you something important.
That's beautiful.
Today, we're sharing the things we wish we knew in our 20s. Real lessons, honest stories, and the English words to talk about all of it.
Maybe you're in your 20s right now. This is for you.
Or maybe you're past your 20s, and you'll nod along to everything we say.
Because some lessons, we all had to learn the hard way.
Let's talk about them.
Okay, lesson 1. And this one, I needed to hear so badly at 20.
What is it?
What other people think of you is none of your business.
Oh, strong start.
I know. But I mean it. Let me tell you a story. When I was 23, I bought a car. A very nice car. Too nice for my salary.
Oh no!
I bought it because I wanted people to see me in it. I wanted my colleagues to think, wow, John is doing well.
And did they?
Nobody said anything. Not one person commented on my car.
Not one?
Not one. I was paying for that car for 3 years. 3 years of stress. 3 years of not saving money. 3 years of pretending I was doing fine.
For nobody.
For absolutely nobody. They didn't notice. They didn't care. They were thinking about their own lives.
This is such a common mistake in our 20s.
We make big decisions based on imaginary opinions from people who aren't even watching.
Imaginary means not real. Only in your mind.
Yes, I was performing for an audience that didn't exist.
And this phrase, people-pleasing. Do you know it?
Tell us.
People-pleasing means doing things to make other people happy, even when it makes you unhappy. Even when it goes against what you really want.
And people pleasers, they say yes when they mean no. They change their opinion to match the room. They dress, act, and speak in ways they think others will approve of.
Approve of means to think something is good. To accept it.
And it is exhausting.
So exhausting. Because you're not living your life. You're performing someone else's idea of your life.
Here is a simple example. Imagine you want to study art, but your family wants you to study medicine. And instead of saying what you really want, you study medicine for years, hating every day.
To please people who will forget about your career choice in 6 months.
Exactly. And you'll live with that choice for decades.
Decades means 10-year periods. A very long time.
So, lesson 1. Before you make a decision, ask yourself honestly, am I doing this for ME? Or am I doing this for the imaginary audience in my head?
If the answer is the imaginary audience, reconsider.
Reconsider means to think about it again, to maybe change your mind.
Maybe you know this feeling too. Maybe right now you're doing something, wearing something, saying something for people who aren't even paying attention.
You're allowed to stop.
Okay, lesson 2. And this one changed everything for me.
What is it?
Discomfort is not your enemy. It is your teacher.
Oh.
In my 20s, I avoided anything that felt uncomfortable. Difficult conversations? No thank you. New situations? Too scary. Trying something I might fail at? Absolutely not.
And what happened?
Nothing. Literally nothing happened. Because I never tried anything.
You stayed comfortable and stayed still.
Exactly. And staying still is fine for a moment, but for years, it means you don't grow.
I was the same. I remember my boss asked me to give a presentation to the whole company. I was terrified.
What did you do?
I said I was sick. I faked being sick to avoid a presentation.
John.
I know. And my colleague did the presentation instead. And she was amazing. And got promoted.
And you?
And I stayed where I was for another year. Because I was sick.
So the discomfort of one presentation, you avoided it. But then you felt a different discomfort for a whole year.
Yes. And that discomfort, the regret, was so much worse.
Regret means the sad feeling you get when you wish you had done something differently.
Regret is the worst kind of discomfort because you can't fix it.
But discomfort from trying? That passes, and it leaves something behind.
What does it leave?
confidence, experience, growth.
So discomfort from trying is an investment. Investment means you put something in now to get something better later.
Yes, you feel uncomfortable now, but you grow. And next time, it's a little easier.
And the time after that? Easier still.
Here is a simple example. Imagine speaking English with a native speaker for the first time. Your heart is beating fast. Your hands are shaking a little,
Very uncomfortable.
but you do it. And it goes okay. Not perfect, but okay.
And next time?
Next time, a little less scary. And the time after, a little less again.
Until one day, you don't even think about it.
That is what discomfort does when you walk through it instead of running away.
Walk through it means face it. Don't avoid it. Go forward, even when it's hard.
Maybe you know this feeling too. There's something you want to do, but it feels uncomfortable. So you wait. And wait. And wait.
Stop waiting. The discomfort is the door. Walk through it. Okay, lesson 3. And this one, I think about every single day now.
What is it?
Your time is your most valuable asset.
Asset means something valuable that you own. Something that helps you.
In my 20s, I treated time like it was unlimited, like there would always be more.
And
I wasted so much of it. Hours on things that meant nothing. Years on relationships that were going nowhere. Months on jobs that made me miserable because I was too scared to quit.
miserable means extremely unhappy. Not just a little sad, deeply unhappy.
And I kept thinking, I'll start next year. Next year, I'll change things.
Next year became next year became next year.
And suddenly, I was 31. And I had been saying next year for almost a decade.
This is one of the most painful things about wasted time. You don't feel it going until one day you look back and it's gone.
So what's the lesson?
Be intentional with your time. Intentional means doing something on purpose, with a clear reason, not just drifting.
Drifting means moving without direction. Like a boat with no engine, just going wherever the wind takes you.
And drifting is okay for a holiday, but not for your whole life.
So ask yourself, does this thing I'm about to do, does it take me somewhere I want to go?
Not everything needs to be productive. Rest is important. Fun is important.
But spending 3 years in a job you hate just because changing is scary, that is not rest. That is drifting.
And spending years trying to please people who don't value you, that is not kindness. That is also drifting.
Here is a simple example. Imagine you spend 2 hours every evening watching videos that you don't even enjoy. You're just scrolling. Just passing time.
That's 2 hours every day, 14 hours every week,
60 hours every month.
over 700 hours every year.
700 hours. That is enough time to learn a new skill. Write a book. Learn a language.
Imagine what your English could be if you used even half of that scrolling time for practice.
The time is there. We just have to choose where it goes.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You look up and a whole year has passed, and you're not sure what happened to it.
You can't get it back. But you can choose differently starting today.
Okay, Last lesson. And this one, I wish someone had told me when I was 19.
What is it?
The right people will never make you feel small.
Oh, say more.
In my 20s, I had friendships that exhausted me. Relationships where I felt like I was always too much or never enough.
Too much or never enough. What do you mean?
Too emotional, too sensitive, too quiet, or not successful enough, not funny enough, not cool enough.
Someone was telling you this?
Not always with words, sometimes with looks, sometimes with silence, sometimes with the way they talked about other people in front of you.
Oh, that's subtle. Subtle means not obvious. Quiet. Hard to see at first.
Yes, and I stayed in those friendships for years because I thought, maybe I need to change. Maybe if I become better, they'll treat me better.
And did they?
No, because the problem was never me.
The right people? They don't need you to be different. They like you as you are.
They make you feel comfortable. They make you feel seen. Seen means someone truly notices and understands who you are.
And this applies to everything. Friendships, romantic relationships, workplaces, communities.
The right workplace doesn't make you feel stupid for asking questions.
The right friends don't make you feel guilty for having good news.
The right partner doesn't make you feel like a problem to be solved.
Strong words.
True words.
And how do you know if someone is making you feel small? What are the signs?
Simple signs. After spending time with them, do you feel better or worse?
That's the question?
That's the question. Not, are they a good person? Not, have they done something obviously wrong? Just, after being with them, do I feel better or worse about myself?
If the answer is consistently worse, that's important information.
Consistently means again and again. Not just once, but regularly.
And you're allowed to act on that information.
You're allowed to create distance, to invest your time and energy elsewhere.
Create distance means slowly moving away from someone. Not dramatically, just less time, less energy.
Maybe you know this feeling too. Someone in your life who, after every interaction, leaves you feeling a little smaller.
You don't have to stay.
You really don't.
Can I say something honest?
Always.
I don't regret my 20s. Even the mistakes.
Really?
Really. Because every mistake taught me something. The car I bought to impress people taught me that things don't bring respect. The presentation I avoided taught me that regret is worse than failure. The time I wasted taught me to value what I have now.
So the mistakes were the lessons.
The mistakes were the lessons. You can't learn some things from a book or a podcast,
Even this podcast.
even this one. Some things you have to live through.
And that's okay. That's human.
But if you're in your 20s right now and you're listening, maybe some of these lessons can save you a little time, a little pain.
Not all of it. You'll still make your own mistakes. And that's good. That's how you grow.
But maybe, just maybe, you'll waste a little less time on the imaginary audience.
And spend a little more time on the people and things that actually matter.
Remember this sentence. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep moving forward.
Say it again.
You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep moving forward.
At 20, at 30, at 50. Always. Okay, everyone, let's slow down now. Word tour time.
Key words and phrases from today. Say them with us.
Word 1. Nostalgic. This means feeling a warm sadness when you think about the past. Example 1. Looking at old photos made her feel nostalgic. Example 2. This song is so nostalgic. It takes me back to school.
I feel nostalgic about simpler times, when my biggest problem was what to have for lunch.
Word 2. People pleasing. This means doing things to make others happy, even when it makes you unhappy. Example 1. He was so focused on people pleasing that he forgot what he actually wanted. Example 2. People pleasing feels kind, but it can actually be dishonest.
I was a people pleaser for years. It made everyone happy except me.
Word 3. Reconsider. This means to think about something again, to possibly change your decision. Example 1. She reconsidered her choice after talking to her mentor. Example 2. I'd like you to reconsider. There might be a better option.
Reconsidering is not weakness. It's intelligence.
Word 4. Miserable. This means extremely unhappy, deeply uncomfortable or sad. Example 1. He was miserable in that job, but didn't know how to leave. Example 2. Rainy days make some people miserable.
I was miserable in my mid-20s, and I thought it was normal. It wasn't normal. It was a sign.
Word 5. Asset. This means something valuable that belongs to you and helps you. Example 1. Your skills are your greatest asset. Example 2. Time is the one asset you can never get back.
Your English is an asset. Every word you learn today, that's yours forever.
Word 6. Intentional. This means doing something on purpose, with a clear reason and direction. Example 1. She was intentional about how she spent her evenings. Example 2. Be intentional about the people you spend time with.
Intentional is the opposite of drifting. One takes you somewhere. The other takes you nowhere.
Word 7. Subtle. This means not obvious, quiet, hard to notice at first. Example 1. There were subtle signs that something was wrong. Example 2. His humor was very subtle. You had to listen carefully to catch it.
The most important lessons in life often come from subtle moments, not big dramatic ones.
Word 8. Consistently. This means again and again, regularly, not just once. Example 1. She consistently showed up on time. That built trust. Example 2. If something consistently makes you feel bad, pay attention to that.
Consistency shows character. One good day means nothing. Consistently good, that means everything. Okay, one thing to do today. Just one.
Take 5 minutes. Sit quietly and ask yourself 3 questions.
Question 1. What am I doing right now that is for the imaginary audience, not for me?
Question 2. What uncomfortable thing have I been avoiding that I know would help me grow?
Question 3. Who in my life makes me feel bigger and who makes me feel smaller?
Just 3 questions. No pressure to answer perfectly. Just notice.
And here is your sentence template for today. Say this to yourself.
I am allowed to grow at my own pace. I am allowed to choose what matters to me. And I am allowed to take up space.
Say it out loud. Right now.
I am allowed to grow at my own pace. I am allowed to choose what matters to me. And I am allowed to take up space.
Because you are. You always were. Maybe nobody told you, but it's true. Okay. Comment challenge time.
This week's question, and this one is personal.
What is one thing you wish you had known earlier in life? Share it in the comments
One thing. Your lesson. Your story.
because someone reading your comment might be exactly where you were, and your words might be the thing they needed to hear today.
We read every single comment. Every one.
If this episode stayed with you, please give it a like. It helps so many more people find us.
And subscribe to Speak Unstoppable if you haven't already. New episodes every week. Real conversations. Real English. Real life.
Thank you for being here today.
You showed up for yourself today. That is not small. That is everything.
Until next time, keep moving forward.
Even when it's slow. Even when it's messy.
Forward is forward.
Bye, everyone. Bye.